We talk a lot about moms losing themselves, but not enough about the ways motherhood actually helps us find new parts of who we are. And honestly, some of my strongest, most grounded parts didn't disappear when I became a mom. They emerged because of it. I'm Dr. Cameo Carter, and this is At the End of the Day podcast, where I explore with you the things that shape us, stretch us, and sometimes surprise us as we move through motherhood and medicine and everything in between. There's this cultural message that motherhood is dangerous to your identity, that if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize you've completely lost yourself in your kids. And yes, there seems to be seasons that feel like that. There are phases where needs barely make it onto the list. But I want to offer a little different perspective. Because for many of us, motherhood doesn't erase our identity, it expands it. It unfolds pieces of us we didn't even know were there. And we need to talk about this before our kids leave home. Because I think so much of the fear and grief around empty nesting comes from years of believing that motherhood demands a type of self-erasure. And what if that's just not true? I want to tell a story from my own life, something that shaped me deeply. I first fell in love with running in the 4th grade. Our school had a jogathon and something about it clicked. I remember the feeling of freedom as I ran those laps, the rhythm, the challenge, the way my little legs found a groove I didn't know they had. And ever since then, running has been this thread in my life. But it really came back to me in a powerful way when I was a new attending after I'd finished residency, building my practice and juggling the intensity of those early career years with the intensity of raising young kids. I needed something that belonged entirely to me, something that wasn't dependent on nap schedules or work deadlines. Running became that space, a space where I wasn't just mama, I wasn't just Dr. Carter, I was just something uniquely myself. Importantly, I often ran without my kids. Now, I made time and I included them in running and enjoyed that too, but I had a specific time that was just for me. It wasn't family exercise time. This was my time, my pace, my breath, my mind sorting through the noise of the day. It grounded me and gave me energy and reminded me that I existed myself as a whole person. Running didn't pull me away from motherhood. It helped me show up to motherhood more present, more patient, more myself. I didn't lose who I was in those years. I grew into someone stronger. I think we get stuck on this idea that our identity is supposed to remain static, that we should somehow preserve the pre-kid version of ourselves. But the truth is, we're constantly evolving. Motherhood changes us, for sure. But change isn't loss. Change is growth. There are parts of me that only exist because I became a mother. The advocate, the protector, the soft space, and the strong space. The person who can pivot instantly without falling apart. The human who can hold so much love and chaos at the same time. And there are parts of me, like the runner, the creative thinker, the connector, that became stronger because I made intentional time for those things while raising kids. And I also want to acknowledge something really important. There is a privilege in being deeply absorbed by your children for a season. That closeness, that everyday presence, that connection, those years are fleeting and sacred and irreplaceable. Being fully present for their childhood doesn't mean you disappear from your own life. The key is this: you can be devoted without dissolving. Your kids benefit most when you are a person with a full inner world not someone who has handed over her entire identity because she thinks that's what good moms do. And it's worth saying this isn't just about our well-being. Kids actually thrive when they see their parents as full, complex humans. When we maintain a sense of self, they don't feel pressured to be our emotional center. They learn independence. They see adulthood as something rich and appealing. They learn that love doesn't require self-sacrifice, just presence. We don't burden them with the idea that they're the only thing holding us together. That frees them, and it frees us too. So here are a few things I've learned through experience that I want to share. A few tips. Tip 1. Keep one part of your identity in active rotation, something you just do for you. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It can be a walk, a book, a hobby, a class, anything that lights you up. Tip 2 is stop waiting for the right time. There is no magical window when life becomes easy. Start small and keep going. Tip 3, let motherhood add to your identity. Ask yourself, what part of me exists now because I became a mom? And you'll be surprised by the beauty in that answer. Tip 4, aim for presence, not perfection. Your kids don't need perfect. They need you, grounded and human. Tip 5, maintain adult relationships as much as you can. Moms do benefit from community and friendships, people who know us outside of our kids. One of the greatest gifts we can give our children is a mother who is fully human and fully present, a mother who has passions, dreams, friendships, curiosity, who is growing right alongside them. Motherhood doesn't end when our kids leave home, and neither do we. At the end of the day, you don't have to lose yourself to love your kids well. In fact, the more connected you are to yourself, the richer their childhood becomes.